Picture this. It's 2024. Kendrick Lamar just dissed Drake and J. Cole. J. Cole dissed Kendrick back and apologized. Godzilla just released another showcase movie 4 months after the first one. And you just found yourself a hydro e-brake that hasn't been made until now. So, we have the Henko Autolabs hydro e-brake. I haven't even opened it yet, but it's actually from a pretty reputable company. You may not know who Henko Autolabs is, but that's just because they changed their name. These guys are originally Lost in Transition. Those guys have been known to make some pretty good stuff, but they've just changed. So they're based out in Tennessee, and I got my stuff within 1 day of them shipping it. This is the first look at it. I'm probably one of the first people to actually even have this, considering this is a pre-order. So let's see what's inside. We got brake lines, so that way you can actually make it to your brake calipers. It looks like you've got instructions on where the bolts go on your knuckles or on your caliper spacers. Candy. That's actually pretty sick. I wasn't expecting that. We've got the actual adapters for your calipers, and peek how they say left and right on them, so you actually don't get them mixed up and then have to take them off again. This here looks like it's a, oh, it's your reservoir for your brake fluid. These are your spacers right here. So you want to use the axle spacers to make sure that your axles aren't actually not making their way all the way to the wheel hubs. That's what they're for. It takes up the space for them. We got our master cylinder right here. So I went with the 0.75 inch one. This is the one that they recommended. But you can also get the 3/4 one as well if you wanted to. I have mine coming in a separate package. We've got our hardware and a bunch of stickers. So yeah, Willwood stickers, because the reservoir and the master cylinder are actually manufactured from Willwood right here in the US. And then we got the piece everybody's been wanting to see. The actual handbrake itself. So right here, we've got the other master cylinder. I guess I'm not getting a separate package. But yeah, so here's my arm for reference. It's a pretty long handle. It's pretty nice. Your mounting bolts are right here. This is supposed to be sitting right underneath the AC controls towards the driver's side. You'll have spacers that you can actually flip and interchange. So if you wanted to put this on a right-hand drive car, all you would do is flip the spacers, move this over to the other side, and then boom, you can mount this to the right of the shifter instead of the left of the shifter. My car is left-hand drive, so we'll be mounting it on the left side. So the cool thing about this handbrake is this is actually the same kind of grip that you could find on a 1911, the pistol. So what you can do, which has never been done before, is you can take grips from a 1911, full-size grips specifically, because they do make mini 1911s for smaller hands. You take the full-size ones and you can actually adapt them by just bolting them in. So this is a lot of customization that you have just for a hand grip. that you don't have to like alter anything major or cut things. Like, this is some pretty cool stuff. I've never seen this before. This is bringing the gun world and the car world one step closer. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Today on Grantham, we're installing a hydro.
What's a mechanic is natural habitat.
The only light you need is a flashlight from a cell phone. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take apart the actual handbrake itself. You want to have to where you're just at the bracket. So you want to take the master cylinder off, you want to take the handle off, take all the guts out of it. All you want to be left with is the actual bracket, so that way we can line it up and drill our holes for where we're going to mount it. So, all right, now that it's taken apart, we just got to start drilling the holes. Oh yeah, Henko sends you candy, in case you didn't know.
It's crazy. Caught in the act, huh?
Whoa, 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 it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. I swear.
So what you doing now?
I'm taking off the shifter bezel. So that way we can actually get down to the spot we're gonna drill holes at.
We gotta drill holes?
Yeah. So check this out. The spot that we're gonna be drilling into is gonna be way over here. So it's advised that you actually cut right here so you can even install the damn thing. It also doesn't hurt to cut this. It'll make it easier for you actually getting your drill in there. But mainly, you just want stuff out the way, so that way you can drill the holes. So I'll show you what it looks like after it's drilled and mounted. There we go. Ew. God, my car's gonna catch on fire one day.
I really don't understand how what your mouth really does.
Oh, I was just smacking something one day with it, and then that chunk just popped off. Like it made a fucking like, and just flew out into space. It was well. All right. I'm definitely gonna have to clean up these wires for this. Maybe the other side. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's gonna have to go. That might be the spot.
Is that the spot there?
Yeah, that might be the spot. I think that should be it. Then I'll just drill a hole right there, there, and there.
What you gotta do?
We'll drill holes. Lots and lots of holes. Don't expect it to be good on the first try. I never do, and I'm still disappointed somehow.
Is your entire life a disappointment?
At least since 2020. Or more on that. That's perfect right there. Where's my scribe at? Let's smack some fucking holes in her now. Where's me mallet? So I chiseled away some of the sound deadening over here and on this corner right here. So that way this could be as far to the left as possible. I also trimmed off all of this stuff, but on this side. What you want is for this corner to be seated in this corner. So it'll sit flush, flat to the transmission tunnel, just like that. Now I'm gonna smack some holes into it, and then we're gonna start drilling. Oh, fuck. Yeah. So this next part is so that way you can actually get to the holes that you just drilled in the transmission tunnel. Now, I didn't drill the holes. I used a Dremel tool, but that's because I do a lot of things wrong. That's lame. You're gonna want a 14 for this. Look. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. That's one. That's two. So you lower the transmission so that we can get to the holes that you just made. Oh shit. Fuck. There we go. I think we need to 40 levels. Ooh, look at this Now since we got all this shit off, it only took a few hours. We get to put the bolts through the transmission tunnel.
Now where the bolts at?
These ones. You want these small tiny boys. So if you're like me and you're lucky enough to have a friend, they're gonna take the nuts and put them on the bolts at the top.
Now where the holes at?
The holes are up here, close to where the drive shaft meets the transmission. See that?
I see a light.
Yeah, those are the bolt holes that you just put. So yeah. So now we've got the bracket bolted in. You want to make sure that this one, the bolt head, is pointing down. The other two, it doesn't matter which direction they face. But this one has to be down with the nut on the bottom. Otherwise, it's going to bottom out when you try to pull your handle. You just won't have as much travel as you could if it's pointing downwards. So we cut off this cross area over here. You're not going to need that. Or the one right here. So you're just going to have a big cavity right there where all of your other stuff goes. It's not going to affect anything. It's going to look no different when it's put back together. It has no structural support to the car whatsoever, so it's fine to cut that off. Next up, we're going to run the master cylinder line that goes to the reservoir through the car. So it's going to go underneath the carpet, through the, past this vent, and go up into the footwell where the wire grommets are by your pedals, and then it's going to go out into the engine bay. So we will cut back after that's done. Do it. Come on! The candy tastes kind of good.
One good thing I'm actually seeing is everything's labeled.
Yeah. Wow.
Like everything's labeled.
To reservoir. to reservoir. Oh shit. All right. Yep. Yeah. Just like that. Oh wait, can you even read that?
Oh, ripped it off.
I was just gonna hold. I have a screen on my side too, dog.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Your car's pretty dirty.
I'm a dirty dude. I'm a pretty dirty dude.
Okay, so what's the difference between these two?
All right, so you've got your 0.62 and your 0.75. Your 0.75 is what you're going to use for bigger brake calipers because they need more fluid to push through. So it's just a larger diameter master cylinder. Mine are Brembos. It still recommends using this, but I'm going to use this anyways because I want to. That's it.
Alright, so now we're moving on to replacing the reservoir. Personally, I'm taking this push pin out. So I can remove this, give more working room. So now just hold on by these two bolts. We're going to take those out, put a new one in. It's going to sit just like this. It's going to look beautiful. Alright, so the new reservoir is on. We're going to wait till the line is fed up so we can stick it into the reservoir. This is how it's going to look. Nice clean black finish.
Oh. And we're like right there. Oh. Like right there. Yup. No mistakes were made in the production of this video.
But
No,
kids were harmed.
no mistakes at all.
But kids were harmed.
Bro, we can't say that. The algorithm will never make it out the hood. Okay. Yeah, I want to bolt these in. And then we got to feed our line through that side with my rat's nest wiring job. Nobody's ever going to sponsor this. How's somebody going to sponsor this? Nope. No, sir.
They'll just say cut the cables.
Yeah, cut the cables. Get them out of here. Fucking sausage fingers. No!
The struggle is real.
This is the part nobody ever shows you in a montage. The ugly part.
But we are.
The pathetic part. The cast of Fast and Furious has never experienced dropping a bolt.
What do you mean? They don't do real mechanic work.
No, Fast and Furious is real. Fast and Furious is real. Say it.
That's not real.
It's real.
It's not.
Say it.
Nope.
What mistake?
All right, so what issue
mistakes were never made on this channel.
What issue are we running into?
Mistakes are not made on this channel.
Why don't you tell them that the socket's not fitting?
I used the wrong size socket. Okay.
Key note while installing this, make sure the outlets are sticking to the left on the driver's side,
Yeah.
or else you will run into problems.
Alright, so in here, let me get my flashlight real quick. So we've got the bracket, the master cylinder underneath the rat's nest. That's a 14 mil on the fitting, and then the AN line looks like it's also a 14 mil. So it's 14 mil for the black piece and 14 mil for the silver piece. Then you're gonna route it through there, and then it's gonna go up into that rubber wire grommet right up there, and then it's gonna get spit out into the engine bay.
Alright, so now we get the line fed through the thingamajiggy, fed through there, it gets bolted, it gets screwed on to the bottom of the reservoir.
Alright. Put you back where you belong. Get back to where you came from. Alright, and then this piece, we're just gonna, yeah. Where'd my bolt go? There it went. I forgot, this one's an Allen key. Alright, so the master cylinder and the reservoir are installed. We got the line inside the car. Now we just need to do the line that leads from the master cylinder to the rear calipers. We also got to put the brackets on the calipers and the axle spacers. I moved the car into the garage because it got dark outside, and my friend Tyler went inside to go talk to his family. So it's just gonna be you and me at this point. So I went ahead and got rid of all the boring stuff like taking the wheel and wheel spacer off for you. And then we're just gonna go ahead and start taking off everything for the actual bracket to put on your rear caliper. So. This is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna say left on it. Alright, so I took the wheel off and the wheel spacer. We're gonna be taking off the rotor, the brake caliper from the back, and getting the new bracket on behind the rotor. You want to make sure you don't lose them, so I always put mine right back into the caliper. Alright, so you take off the rotor, and you're going to be taking off the axle, so you're going to need two 14 mil wrenches, and you're going to also take off the cable brake for your e-brake, and you're going to get access to some bolts that are behind the wheel hub assembly after you get the axle out. You got to get the axle out first because you won't have space to actually get the socket on the bolts if you leave the axle in there. So axle off, then knuckle off. So you'll have instructions here on how to bolt up your hardware with your bracket. Long story short, these ones that have your half threads, there's 8 of them. These guys go and put the brackets right here. So this is what bolts it onto the knuckles. And then these bolts are what are going to be like for your calipers. So you either use the short ones for your regular brakes or your long ones for your Brembos. And then we've got some yellow ones. Now the yellow ones, number 8, I don't know what number 8's for. It's for something. I'm not really sure. Alright. Anyways, we're gonna install them. Oh yeah, and I wouldn't put the dust shield back. Like, if you're installing a hydro, you're moving past this. So when you're putting everything back together, you want to make sure you at least have this portion if you want to keep your e-brake, like your stock e-brake. You don't need to keep like the old actual dust shield. I actually just started popping off the little welds with a flathead and a mallet. Now, when you're putting things back together, you'll probably have an axle spacer in your kit. I went with the 10 mil. It has a description on like which ones they recommend for what situations. So what you want to do, you see how it's got that this little extended piece right there? Fits perfectly right there. So then you'll reinstall this, put the bolts in the back of this on that side, and then you start putting your actual CV axle back in. So that will space it out properly, so there's no like open gap for slack and all that stuff. Alright, so while you're here, go ahead and adjust your parking shoe. You could do it just like this. You want it to be just, you want it to have just enough clearance to where it's kind of snug to put on, but you can still spin it. And then once you go and give the little handbrake a tug, nothing too crazy, just a little. Nothing. Oh yeah, this is a perfect time to adjust your handbrake. Next up, we're going to be bolting in the next set of bolts. So now we're getting to the calipers. So if you got Brembos, you got long yellow ones, short yellow ones, the spacers, or the washers and the spacers for the long yellow ones. These are going to go on your already existing calipers, the ones that you use just to stop the car. These are going to be here for the new caliper set that you're going to be bolting in. Alright, so see this over here. This is your axle spacer again. So 10 mil axle spacer. It's real easy. You just pop it up in there. You just wedge it in, and then it just kind of sits there. So the axle spacer, the knuckle, the bracket, the part of the dust cover that you attach your e-brake stuff to, and then your wheel hub. So just wanted you to see it from this side. And of course I got. Alright, so something you'll want to do when you're putting your brake calipers back on and getting your lines set up. With these lines, there's no rotating collar on the AN fitting for the caliper side. So you want to screw it onto the caliper first and then bolt the caliper on. After that, just route it around a certain way that doesn't hang around like any moving parts too much, and zip tie it to something stationary. And then just start picking a spot to put your hole. So I already did the passenger side. The way that you'll route your line from the master is underneath the carpet in the center, going up through here, underneath your panels and stuff, and then it'll spit itself out right here, and that's where your T fitting will be. So the finished product, at least on one side, could look something kind of like this. So you'll have your rubber grommet, something to keep it still, and then you'll have your line. So this is what it looks like on this side. Now, these power stop calipers that I have, the thread, like the holes are a little shallow for this, so I had to double up on the washers. But I think it'll still be fine. It's pretty tight on there. So, yeah. pretty soon we're gonna be bleeding the system, and then we'll be ready to drive it. Alright, now that everything's wired up, we got the lines attached, we got the calipers installed, the brackets installed, everything's pretty much installed. Now we just gotta bleed the system. There's usually machines like hand tools that you could use for this, or if you have a buddy, you could have them pull it and then you can crack open the valves. But when I'm by myself, I typically like to run a line all the way the length of the car, and then have that line go right back into the reservoir. And now, without having to worry about anything at all I gotta do is just crack open the line. Yep. So just crack open the line. And I'll just start yanking away at the handle as much as I want. So you can watch as the air gets pumped through, and as the air bubbles make their way towards the reservoir, as soon as they actually get into the reservoir, they just rise to the surface and dissipate right there, because it pulls fluid from the bottom, so air never goes back into the line, it only comes out. Every once in a while I'll have to refill the reservoir, but it's usually pretty much like when you first start bleeding it. Once you're halfway done, then you don't really need too much more fluid. This has been working for me for years. Different cars, different parts of the system, brakes, clutches, like, it's just been working. Alright, so we're getting close to the end of the install. It's actually been like a whole day at this point. It's kind of wild how much time flies. But yeah, so the last part, after everything is all put back together on the interior, you want to take this piece off and take out your hazard light, so that way you're down to just the trim piece. Now, Henko, on their YouTube channel, they've got some measurements with a tape measure that you could use. But me, I'm probably just gonna line it up and trim with a Dremel kit, and then we'll see how it goes. So I'm probably just gonna use like little markings, probably a knife, maybe some toothpaste or something. But yeah, we just gotta get just enough so that way it allows you to clear that. You don't need a lot of space. And then we're gonna have to trim some on this side too, but that'll be easier to do once we get this part done. And then we can just take it off and then make sure it's lined like sideways with that. We'll just bolt them together. Alright, so we got the piece trimmed. We're gonna be doing the silver piece next, but let me show you real quick what it looks like now that it's all cut up on the inside. So it was pretty much symmetrical before. I took away this entirely. Went about as far as the hazard light bezel, and pretty much just took the width of the actual handbrake and made that. Now mine's not the cleanest, but I'm not too worried about it. I want it to be functional, and it will, for the most part. Like, it doesn't look too bad. Besides, if I stressed about every little intricate detail being perfect, I'd have a heart attack every time somebody like walks by and accidentally bumps into my car or something. Every time an acorn falls on the hood. Yep, the hood's ugly as shit. I know. Don't worry. I've got plans for that. But yeah. Next up, it's gonna be this. And I can already tell this whole piece right here, that's gotta go. This part should be fine to stay, but this has gotta go, and then we're probably gonna dig into this a little bit. Alright, so it's finally installed. Now all that's left is to pick a grip. So, Henko Autolabs, y'all knocked it out of the park with the design. Like, this is sick. First off, it's longer than I thought it would be. Like, I thought it was going to be a whole fist shorter, is what it looked like in the pictures. But actually getting it, like, this is a good length. Lots of pull right here. The fact that the angle is set back and up, it gives you just that much room to not have to cut this, which other people have had issues with, I guess, when they're doing bezel hydros like this. So overall, solid. You can get them in black or in bare metal, and they've got like a nice little swirl pattern. I don't know if it could pick up on the camera, but it's more prominent in the silver version. Oh yeah, these are the original grips. So it's just 2 flathead screws on both sides. So let me know which one you think looks the best. I'm not gonna lie, personally, that's probably my favorite. And it doesn't even match the color pattern that I've been going with. But it looks so nice. Let me know if you guys have one of if you can find one of these in red, because that would be awesome. Just like let me know